You didn't become strong because life trained you. You became strong because you had no other option, and nobody ever stopped to ask what that strength actually cost you. People usually admire this kind of strength. They call it maturity, self-control, emotional intelligence. But psychology sees something quieter beneath it. Sometimes strength isn't growth, it's adaptation that never turned off. You didn't adapt to succeed, you adapted to survive. And survival rewires the brain in subtle ways. One of the first changes appears in how you read people. You notice emotional shifts instantly. A pause in someone's voice, a slight change in tone, the energy in a room that suddenly feels different. Most people don't register these details. You do. Psychology explains this as hypervigilance. When a child grows up in unpredictable or unsafe environments, the nervous system learns to scan for danger before it relaxes. The problem is that this scan mode doesn't automatically shut off. So even in calm moments, part of you stays alert, not anxious, prepared. What others miss feels obvious to you, and you rarely talk about it. Another pattern shows up in how you relate to other people's emotions. You often feel responsible for keeping others calm, stable, or okay. When someone is upset, distant, or tense, something inside you feels like it needs to fix it. Psychologists link this to early emotional role reversal. As a child, you may have learned that managing someone else's emotions kept you safe. As an adult, this turns into people-pleasing, emotional caretaking, guilt when others are unhappy. You don't just care, you feel accountable, and that weight accumulates quietly. Then there's the independence. You don't ask for help easily. You don't expect support. You handle things on your own. Psychology calls this defensive self-reliance. From the outside, it looks like strength, but it wasn't a preference. It formed when support was inconsistent, conditional, or unavailable. So your mind learned a simple rule. If I rely on myself, I won't be disappointed. That lesson works until it becomes exhausting. There's something else psychology notices. People like you are often misunderstood. Others may see you as distant, overly serious, or emotionally closed off. What they don't see is how much you're managing internally. You don't withdraw because you don't care. You withdraw because staying composed once kept things from falling apart. So you say less, you explain yourself less, you show less, not because you lack emotion, but because showing too much once had consequences. Over time, that becomes invisible, even to people who are close to you. There's one final pattern that rarely gets mentioned. You struggle to fully relax. Calm feels unfamiliar. Silence feels temporary. Rest feels like something that could be taken away. When chaos was normal early in life, the nervous system stays active even in safety. So you stay busy, distracted, emotionally guarded, not because you want stress, but because your body learned to survive it. Psychology is clear about one thing. These traits aren't flaws, and they aren't really your personality. They're adaptations. They protected you when you needed protection. But what once kept you safe may now be what's draining you. You're not weak for feeling tired. You're tired because you stayed adapted for too long. And maybe the next phase of your life isn't about becoming stronger, but about realizing you don't need to adapt anymore. And if that idea makes you uncomfortable, it's probably the one worth sitting with.